Good YouTube, Quinn Wade coming to y'all with that playoff basketball analysis, prediction wise. And we're going to talk about who should win or who will win, in my opinion, between the New York Knicks and the Atlanta Hawks. We're going to talk about the Hawks first, and they a team that really changed up a lot when it came to their roster, getting rid of Trey Young, getting rid of Kristaps Porzingis, and so on, taking a gamble on the kill, getting a healthy Jalen Johnson who had an all-star season, getting Jonathan Kaminga, and changing up their rotation and their guys that they're dependent on throughout the season. So they still finished above 500, 46 and 36 is their record. And we're going to talk about what they can do and how they're going to try to beat the Knicks, even though they're the lower seed, but they're first in the Southeast Division. Nikhil is the guy that everybody wants to see on this team when it comes to guard play. Good scorer. He can hit the three. He can get to the basket. He can get to the free throw line. Can hit a mid range. Is really just a great thing to see him play as well as he has been able to play this year. Took a gamble going to Atlanta. They took a gamble on him to see if he can really be a star for them in his role. And then he showed that he can do more than they probably even thought. And then he was able to do it the entire season at a high level. They're going to need his playmaking. They're going to need his ability to create his own shot. They're going to need his ability to play off the ball and still be a threat and be a guy that can hurt the Knicks if they leave him open. And he's just going to have to find ways to score, throughout the entire series. And I feel like he will. He showed it through the regular season. I know that OG and Mikhail is going to make it tough for him to score and get his shot off. And they know they're going to have to find a way to make things tough and difficult for him to be basically an inefficient volume scorer is what you want him to be, and that's going to be the Knicks' goal. Obviously, his goal is to be as good as he can be on the offensive end while still competing defensively, which he has shown that he can do. But he's going to have to step up. He's going to have to be big for the Hawks if they're going to pull off an upset and beat a higher seed. Dyson Daniels, you just want him to play more aggressive, make some shots around the rim, hit the three, play hard defensively. Don't give up no ground. Attack the basket when you can, and just be a facilitator when the team needs you to be. He shows signs that he can do a lot of those things, and then sometimes he just doesn't even try to score. A lot of the times he's just looking to get a ball right back up instead of even attacking. And they're going to need him to be a guy that can do both, play some defense and knock down shots, and look forward to making plays and not just holding the ball and just waiting for something to open up. You got to make things happen sometimes. Gabe Vincent, you know that he's a spot up shooter for them. Obviously, he can hit a mid range too. He can get out in transition if you leave him open or he cherry picks a little bit. Zachary Ricochet, we know that he can hit a spot up three. We know that he can cut to the basket. We know he can get out in transition. Keaton Wallace is a guy that's going to be a scorer for them. We don't know how many minutes he's going to play, but they're going to need him to come off the bench and put in buckets. Ayeka, we know he's going to move without the basketball. He's going to find his way to the three-point line. He's going to find his way in the paint. He just has to be efficient while doing so, while still getting good rebounds. CJ McCollum, they need him to be efficient. Knock down your mid-range, knock down your three, hold the ball, make plays, get to the basket when you can, knock down some free throws. Jock Landale, you just want him to be a big body that can finish in the paint, especially against mismatches, and just rebound at a high level when you can and use that size to your advantage. Um, you look at guys like Jonathan Kaminga, you don't really know what you're going to get out of him. Sometimes the three ball is falling. Sometimes he can get to the basket. Sometimes he just disappears offensively, and you need him to be locked in defensively. He has the body. He has the athleticism to be a good defender. But he is one of those guys where 1 minute he can give you 20, next minute he can give you below 10 points. Christian Koloko, I don't expect him to hit the court really. Corey Kispert, he can make shots. Will he be efficient? Can he knock him down consistently? Can he be a threat game to game? Jalen Johnson, he's going to want to get near the basket. He's going to pull some threes from time to time. Will he settle? Will he take the open ones? Will he take the ones over smaller defenders, which are still a little tough? Will he attack the basket and not settle? That's going to be something interesting. Of course, he's going to try to find his teammates for good, easy looks. He's going to hunt mismatches. He's going to rebound at a decent level. You just trying to get as much as you can out of him because you know he can do so much for you. Caleb Houston, you don't really know if he's going to be efficient. You know he's going to try to make shots when he can and try to make some plays. You just don't know if you're going to knock him down. Buddy Hield, you want him to just take the three, take the mid ranges. If you can get to the basket, take that too. But it just depends on how the defense defends them and how they pay attention to them and how they want to guard them and how they want to play some of the guys that can create opportunities for them. Since he's going to play mostly off ball, most likely. Miami Gay, just be ready to score when you get the ball and just take the high percentage shots when they're there and find a way to get open to do so. And then you look at the other guys that I don't really see them playing or having a significant impact in the series. And if they do, it's probably one game, and it's mainly them playing their roles and thriving in their roles by playing off the other players like Nikhil, maybe CJ, maybe Jalen Johnson, and obviously um, Dyson Daniels. And you look at the Knicks, this is a series that they should win. They're the better team. They have ways to really make it tough on the Atlanta Hawks guards. Like I said, mainly OG, McHale. Those guys are so long and so athletic that they can make them work for their baskets and settle for tough shots. And that's what you will want to see if you're a Knicks fan. But they also can hit them with threes and make them tired because they move without the basketball. And they're good at attacking if you close out too hard. And then again, they can also get steals and blocks that can turn into transition opportunities, and that's what they're going to have to do. Then you have Jose Alvarado. You know he's going to bring speed. He's going to bring 3-point shooting. Will he be able to do it consistently? That's something that you're going to want to see from him. Jalen Brunson is going to be a problem because you know he can get his shot off whenever he wants. Plus, they surrounded him with a lot of weapons, so he's going to be looking for his shot and looking for them. He's been doing a good job of getting rid of the ball and finding guys instead of just trying to score all the points. And then you already know he can take over and dominate in the fourth quarter. He might be the smallest player on the court, but he's going to find a way to impact the game at a high level and get his. And he's going to be the difference in the series. If he can stay closing them out and taking their best punches and still helping his team come out on top, then he did his job as a superstar in this league. And you look at Jordan Clarkson, he's another shot maker for them. He can pass, he can hit the mid range, he can hit the three, he can score off the dribble, he can get to the basket. You know, he's coming in to be instant offense, and that's all you really want him to do. Pacom, just score in the paint is all you need him to do. Muhammad, just be ready to do the same, but also be ready to space the floor and knock down the threes. Sometimes he can, sometimes he doesn't, but they're going to leave him open sometimes because they're going to try to take other guys out of the game or make other guys work more for it. So he's got to be ready to score in those open opportunities. Josh Hart, you know, he's going to move without the basketball. He's showing you that he can knock down the three. He's showing you that he can get to the basket. He's showing you that he's going to defend. You know, he's going to play with heart and get rebounds and get extra opportunities and fight. And you need fighters in the playoffs, and those are the guys that can make a big difference. And he has done it since he's been a Knick, and I don't expect that to change, especially if he's going to be healthy. And then you look at guys like Tyler Kolek. Can you run the guard position? Can you find your guys? Can you make shots that's open, or they give you Mitchell Robinson? You know he's going to crash the glass and be physical, protect the paint when you can. Don't let them undermine you and get open shots at the rim. That's part of your job too. Obviously, finishing strong is what you can do at a high level. Guys going to find you. You're going to find ways to score if you get an offensive board. Just do that at a high level. Towns, he's been a double-double. Space the floor, hit the three, drive, finish, crash the glass. If he does that and get guys in foul trouble, that make it even tougher for the Hawks to win. Jeremy Shohan, you never know what he's going to do sometimes. You just want him to go out there and compete, grab some boards, and finish around the basket. Landry Shamet, knock down threes. If you open, be ready to shoot, be ready to score. Miles McBride, the same. Take the open shot, take the look that you find as good, and don't be afraid or shy about it. He knows that he's been doing it all season. Kevin McCullough Jr., just be ready for the moment. You don't really have too much experience, and that's something that you're going to gain by just being on the court if they want you on the court, because sometimes the rotations are small. But if they get a lead or if they get up by a lot, some of these guys are going to see more playing time. And that's just to give guys rest and avoid injuries if a win is basically right there for them. But like most people, I'm not gonna say anything crazy. I'm gonna say Knicks should be able to win this series. I got Knicks in five. I think the Knicks are better defensively. I think Brunson, they don't really have an answer to really stop him. He can score on anybody. He can get a shot on anybody. He steps up and can carry a team to a win. If the game is close or if they're up, they're going to be tough to beat. For a team like the Hawks to be able to get them. I think they're the better team. I feel like they're more skilled. I feel like they're better defensively. I like their size better. I like their spacing better. I feel like their players step up more consistently than the ones of the Hawks. And I feel like Jalen Johnson, he's gonna really have to take over and really show us another side of him. And I feel like the Hawks defensively have been okay, but I feel like against a team like the Knicks, I don't really see them slowing them down or stopping them. I don't really see one player really hurting the Knicks. They just have that much talent gap to me to the Hawks. The Hawks are improved. They are better. They are a tough team, but I think the Knicks are a lot better and a lot more ready, and they're going to be a lot more smarter because they have a lot of the same pieces that they had last year, and that team went to the conference finals and beat some tough teams. And I feel like that experience plus already having a good matchup defensively against a team like the Hawks, I feel like that's just going to give them more confidence and that's going to make them want to win more. And they already have guys that feel like that. We're not going to play around. We're not going to play with our food. We're going to go in and be ready to play at a high level on both ends of the court. And I feel like that should be enough to get them past the Hawks in the first round. And they're going to have home court advantage through this entire series. And it's hard to beat them at home. And I don't think the Hawks is going to be able to do it enough, and they're going to have to. They're going to want to win this series or make it longer. I don't see it happening, though, in my personal analysis, in my personal opinion. And I'm going to pick the Knicks in five. That's what I feel. That's what I think. And other than that, if you feel like I'm crazy, if you feel like I'm wrong, tell me why in the comment section. Tell me what I'm tripping on. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to get that analysis when it first come out. Other than that, y'all stay blessed up. Y'all stay good. Peace. And I'll see y'all later today, hopefully with more analysis.